Radio Times does gaming.
Fallout.
Fallout. It was a granny, like an old lady.
Right.
But in like a massive suit of power armor.
Of course.
He said, there are rainbows coming out of my heart. Is how much he loved it.
That is dramatic.
Start interviewing people for the Ghoul girls or something.
We're not alone.
Radio Times does gaming.
Yes, Radio Times does gaming. My name is Rob Lean. I'm the gaming editor at Radio Times.
I'm Alex Raisbeck, and I'm the gaming writer at Radio Times.
And we have got back in the studio once again to celebrate the fact that I left the country and then returned.
Yeah, lucky for some.
Yeah, sorry about it.
Yeah. Well, where did you go?
I went to New York City.
Oh, New York City.
For a little game called Fallout 76. We're having an event over there. They have previously had several events in London, so it was a huge novelty to go there instead. But yeah, ever heard of a little TV show called Fallout?
Called Fallout. Yeah. They've made some games based on it, right?
Yeah. They made this TV show, and then they've gone back in time and made games about it.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, the games. And the TV show. I see
Yeah.
why they made so many games of it.
Oh, no, I can't keep up with this because I need to talk about the fact that basically the theme of the event was that Season 2 of the TV show is coming out, and they want to do something big in Fallout 76 for it, which is obviously the most recent of kind of the main Fallout games to come out anyway. I guess there's been probably mobile things and stuff.
Probably, yeah.
Fallout Shelter.
Also,
when
the
was that?
idea that like Fallout 76 is still the most recent, even though
Yeah.
it's like, how old now?
It's old.
It is old.
It was 2018 or something like that.
That's
I
even
think.
older than I thought it was.
I think. Because then, at the start of the event, they showed this big kind of swirly timeline of all the big updates they've done since launch. And it was definitely before 2020 because they were talking about some big updates they did in 2020. And some of it is stuff like I completely forgot was not originally in the game. So they're like, oh, in 20 whatever, we added NPCs to the game. It's, oh, yeah, there was no people in this game to start with.
Yeah, what a strange time that was.
Yeah.
I remember how much everyone loved the game when it came out.
Yeah, definitely. That's my prevailing memory of it as well.
But I do hear that it is better now.
Yeah. And yeah, they were saying they had. I did an interview with two of the main developers, Bill LaCoste and Jonathan Rush, and we will cut to that shortly. But yeah, they basically said that they saw a huge spike of like a few million players when Fallout TV show was on the first time, and that they had prepared. I think they did like some cosmetic skins and like collectibles and stuff, but they didn't do like anything super in the game world about it. And this time, have I already told you what they've done, or do you want to guess what they've done?
I think you've told me what they've done.
I'll tell you what they've done, which is...
They're adding Walty Goggins into the
yes,
game.
Walty Goggins is in the game. Walton Goggins playing the Ghoul. And like you kick yourself because like I think I said this in the interview. So like, I was actually trying to predict like what their announcement was going to be, and I kind of forgot that like the whole point of his character is that he's lived through all the years of since the bombs went off, which means that even though the TV show is set a lot later in the main to when 76 is set, that he was around at that time.
Yeah, just chilling out.
Yeah, and they had, I'm hoping they're going to let us, I need to ask this actually, to use, they had like a little video of him in the booth being like, hey, I've just recorded my lines for Fallout 76. And some of the things that came out of his mouth were just quite funny. He was just like being like kind of overly earnest about it. He was like, we've had the time of our life making this.
I'm sure he has.
You've had the time of your life recording some voice lines.
Yeah, not making the show.
No, specifically doing the 76.
I hated the show, but it's all been worth it so that I could sit in this booth and record lines for Fallout 76.
Exactly, he loved it. And he said, there are rainbows coming out of my heart. Is how much he loved it.
That is dramatic.
Yeah. And then the quite funny detail was, so then they were like, okay, great, and we've got the new content for you guys to play. You're going to see where, so the Ghoul is basically going to be in a new area of the map, which is opening up on the northwest side of the map, which they kind of said, oh, it's kind of New Vegas-y themed, or kind of Fallout 3 kind of, they've gone for that similar colour palette and like the same kind of monsters and things that were in that one. But like it's, because that was my other guess, was that are they going to do like an off-map like school trip to New Vegas? But no, it said they're kind of just adding a new region to the map that kind of has a close enough or thematically resonant vibe, or close enough vibe is what I've remembered it as. But they were like, oh yeah, if you go to there's a place called Highway Town, and the Ghoul is in there. He's like in a bar, and he's like giving out bounty hunting contracts because that's like the new gameplay mechanic that's coming in with him. So I think they must have filmed the Walton Goggins stuff quite recently, because at the end of the presentation they were like, yeah, you can go out there, go play the new bounty hunter stuff, go find the Ghoul, but by the way, we haven't actually added his voice lines into the game.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything.
Well, he does, but he says it in like the kind of AI robotic generic voice instead.
Yeah, like text to speech.
Yeah. But still, so me and a guy called Dashwood from Tech Radar were the kind of 2 UK people were there, and so we got on a server together and went and found the Ghoul, and it was quite fun. It's like even like without the proper voice. Basically, there's 2 different types of bounty hunting missions he will give out, and it's basically like, the concept seems to be, the Ghoul's kind of too busy. He's got too many. He doesn't want to do all these bounty hunting jobs himself, so he's outsourcing.
We've all been there.
Yeah, he's using some.
I'm too busy to hunt all these bounties.
Yeah,
happens to me all the time.
Yeah, he's bringing in some freelance resource to really maximize his bounty hunting. And so there's ones he will give you for free, which is just like, kind of in the normal map, like just go follow the objective marker, find the person and kill them. And the first one we found and killed was just like a dude, just like a guy in like a science lab coat kind of thing. Literally just walking around, not particularly heavily armed, just like went and found him and shot him repeatedly. Just killed a man.
For no reason.
Well, no, to get some bottle caps.
Of course. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then the other one, he'll give you like bigger ones, which are called, so the little one's called grunt hunts, and the big ones, oh, it is down. I can't find it. Grunt hunts, and the bigger ones are called head hunts. And the bigger ones are like more heavily armed people, but it also like triggers like a public event when you start one. And so it's kind of like a raid battle kind of thing, like everyone can jump in and it kind of teleports you to the right place. And we did one of those where there was it was a granny, like an old lady,
right?
But in like a massive suit of power armor.
Of course.
So it was quite a difficult granny. And then I don't know if this was designed or if it was just like kept regenerating for like a glitchy reason or whatever. But like we fought one granny and then like an even stronger granny came to take her place, kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a gauntlet of grannies, but it was really fun. And I haven't played like loads of 76. I kind of dipped in and out a little bit over the years. But I think like as a thing to drop when the TV show is on, I think it's pretty nice. Like it's definitely a step up from what they did last time. I think they've done well to like make something that makes just about enough sense and is kind of canon enough kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, when it first came out, the TV show, everyone was playing Fallout. Like
Yeah.
I know people that don't play games that were playing Fallout because they like the TV show so much. So yeah, I mean, if they're trying to still get people to play 76, really they should be working on Fallout 5, but what do I know?
Well, that's funny you should say that, and I did not prompt you to say that. But that was like, in my interview, I had like, in my back pocket the question of, everybody, if you talk about Fallout games and, people want to play Fallout games when the TV show is on, like, only like it takes a few minutes and someone will say, well, why aren't they making Fallout 5? Where's the new Fallout game? And I asked them, like, does it annoy you to hear that? And it's like, we're still here. We've been working on this for 8 years or something. And they were quite nice about it, but that seems like quite a nice segue to go.
Yeah. Everyone is asking where Fallout 5 is. No one is asking, where is Fallout 77?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
You've heard it here first, Fallout 77 coming
Yeah,
soon.
I'm making it. If they won't make it, I'll make it.
Well, something to look forward to, as well as Fallout 76 is Burning Springs update. That's what it's called. I didn't mention that before.
Very nice.
Coming in December alongside the TV show, and let's roll that interview. Well, guys, thank you so much for having me at this event. It's been so lovely. How's it been for you today?
Great. I mean, it's always great talking about the game and being around the press and media and creators and just talking about all the updates that we do, because we're players of the game. We're excited about the game. We're excited about the update. We want to play the update with our own characters. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
Awesome.
Did you want to add to that?
Yes, I do, Gil.
It's been awful for you.
I always love talking about the game. Yeah, talking about the game. About as much fun as playing it for me. I love it. Everything 76. So yeah, this has been great.
Awesome. And obviously a lot of the stuff we've been talking about today is linking into the second season of Fallout the show. I was wondering if we could rewind a bit. What was like? Do you guys remember when you first heard they were doing a TV show? How did that kind of news like disseminate its way to you guys?
Oh, it was exciting.
Yeah.
Especially when we learned who was doing it. Yeah, absolutely.
Was that like a few years ago before it like
Thereabouts. I don't really recall specifically. Yeah.
with season 1 kind of were you guys what did you kind of have in mind for season 1? I know you had like some little kind of cosmetic tie-ins and stuff like that, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, when season 1 came out, we had some cosmetic tie-ins like Lucy's backpack, for instance, or the Ghoul Duster outfit.
Nice. And obviously season 1 came out. It was amazing. Personally, I loved it. What was the impact like for you guys on like the day it came out? What was like what was the spike like?
It made us immediately prepare for season 2. We saw a huge spike in players, which was really it emboldened us, right? Because what we saw were players who were experiencing that great story and setting that they were seeing in the Amazon series. The folks working on that series are such big fans of the game, and they respect the style and the story, and people could see that in the way it was represented in the Amazon series. Those new players coming in that wanted more of that kind of story, right, were coming into 76 and Fallout 4 and Fallout 3, and so it just kind of emboldened us to continue on those country roads we were already walking down and continue telling our story of Appalachia and begin prepping for season 2.
Like how big was the spike? Like, was there anything you can compare it to? It was like the biggest since launch or something like that? Or?
Oh, something to compare to? I mean, I'd say we had probably about a 6-fold increase in players coming in. Yeah, it was substantial, but it was really fun. You get to see all these new players coming out of the vault and see all of our existing players helping them out, giving them things, helping them with quests, showing them how to do stuff. I thought it was really cool. Yeah. What did you notice, Bill?
Just when you were talking about what other updates kind of replicated that, we saw a lot of players come in for Wastelanders, but this surpassed that by a large margin. So we saw a lot of players coming in that were brand new. We saw a lot of players coming in that had played the game previously but hadn't logged in since 2018, 2019, and a lot of them were very surprised by what they saw, and they're like, oh. Not only is the game still going, but like it's a completely different game than what they remember. It was stable. They were able to play. There was a lot more content. There were daily ops. There were more events. More bosses. Things like that. And so we just saw a really good influx of people come in. But then also we heard their appreciation for the work that had gone into it, and that was really good for the team to see that. And just to have the positive words, being mentioned towards the team and the game and how far it's come and how well it's improved or how much it improved.
Awesome. It's amazing looking back at the the kind of timeline of updates graphic that you showed earlier, and to think like, oh yeah, and then with Wastelanders, NPCs came in and stuff like that. It's like how different the game is now to what it was. It's
for sure.
It's night and day.
I think when John asked for that graphic to be created, it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. We'll see a timeline or whatever it is of the stuff. And then once you actually lay it out on the screen, those are all major content updates that, again, have been free for existing players. And to be able to come in and just download the next update and then get all of that content for free has been amazing. I think the players enjoy it, of course, but we enjoy seeing that as well. And I think it was very eye-opening even for us looking at it and going, that's a lot of work. That was really good, and in such a short period of time as well.
It makes it so interesting to drop back into the game. I was playing it at home the other day. Wanted to not be too rusty when I came here, and to see like an alien popped in, and I was like, "There's aliens in this game now."
Yeah, there actually aliens are in right now with Invaders from Beyond. We're running an event that runs through next week, and that's been one of our more popular events. People love seeing the aliens running around, and it's just a fun, quick event. You come in, you get new recipes, new rewards, and it's always populated every time it opens up on the hour. So yeah.
Like, how many permissions do you have to get to do something like, oh, we want to put aliens in the game? Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how much I would say in terms of, but those are actually part of Fallout.
Yeah.
The addition wasn't really too far off. It wasn't something really necessarily new. We just kind of expanded on it a little bit and then turned the world into that. And we even have instances of during Invaders from Beyond where other public events within the world are then inhabited by the aliens themselves. So you go to Line in the Sand and it's all aliens, stuff like that. So, yeah, not very far through because it's a real thing. So,
We are not alone.
we're not alone. Yes,
They're out there. And so you guys saw the spike with season 1. You guys immediately start thinking we need to be, prepping for season 2. When you start getting into that work, what are the things that, like, the decisions you have to make, the conversations you have to have to, like, how did you end up deciding to come at it the way that you have?
So when we look at our player feedback, right, we always approach it by looking at kind of the broader strokes of the feedback first and sort of shaping up future features based on that. So something we've noticed with Skyline Valley especially was that was our region expansion to the south, was that players really enjoy when we continue to tell the next chapter in our story of Appalachia, right? If I refer to these big updates as kind of the next chapter in our Appalachia story, they love experiencing that new lore, new characters, new fiction, but at the same time, they also like being able to tell stories of their own in these new spaces with the things that they and their friends go do and adventure, or the places that they can build. So an update like Skyline Valley, a map expansion, is kind of it's very appealing to players for those reasons. So yeah.
The reasons for the regions, yeah.
So when we see season 1 and that wraps up and we're like, okay, we got to start prepping for season 2. All right, well, let's do something big. We want to do something big and impactful. So that's where the new region comes in. So if you look at our Appalachia map, we could go east, right? But then that starts to sort of skirt the Capital Wasteland. Or we could go west, and nobody's really explored Ohio before. What could that look like? We all saw season 1 and where that ended up, the vista of New Vegas and the Deathclaw Skull. And so what we decided was, you know what? Even though it's geographically a different place on the map, one's Ohio, one's Nevada, or I guess what used to be Nevada and what used to be Ohio, we could kind of draw tonal parallels there, right? So let's make this new region kind of look and feel like what players remember from New Vegas or from Fallout 3. And so we kind of turned Ohio into a barren hellscape, and also additionally gave players lots of new places to adventure with their friends and build upon. And so that's really where the thought behind the new region and what it resulted in tonally came from. There were 3 pillars that we were trying to adhere to with this new region that I felt really kind of echoed what the tone and feel of New Vegas and Fallout 3 was, and that is this new region's got to have a lot of desert. It needs to have Deathclaws and Raiders, and so we've checked off all 3 of those across the board with Burning Springs.
Awesome. It's so interesting because, like, I knew I was coming here today, and I knew that it was kind of, you were going to be showing us kind of what you've got ready for season 2 of the show, and like you kind of start trying to like work it out before you get here. But it's like, but yeah, like geographically it's a different place, like timeline wise it's a different place. I was like, they can't teleport everyone to like a different place. I guess you could have done like an off map kind of new something to explore, but
we could have. But I think that there's a big difference between that and expanding the map. For instance, expeditions. I think expeditions are great. I love playing expeditions, but they're different. Even though it's a different region or space, they're still different because it's a mission that you're going into with a start and a finish and a very specific purpose in mind. So you go there, nothing's different, nothing changes, but you can rely on, if you do the mission and you complete it, you get this thing. Whereas if you make a new space as a new region, which is an extension or a mutation of our Appalachia map, it opens up opportunities for players to build on it and change it, and also there's random elements of paths getting crossed that you don't get in something like an expedition. So yes, even though it is geographically different from where the show takes place, I think that the look and feel and the heart of the update is very much in line with what players will see in that second season.
With when the TV show was on, one of the things that we did at my work was like a timeline to explain to people, how does, the dropping of the bombs relate to when the games are set, relate to when the kind of main action of the TV show is set. And even though I had worked on making that, I kind of forgot that there is a character who's there the whole time. And I was like, but that, you know, most of the TV shows like so much later, and the 76 is like the first game in the timeline. I was like, I just don't see how they can do it. And it's like the fact that like there is a character that lives through the whole thing, and from what the show has covered so far, there is kind of a big kind of gap in the middle there. How quickly did you guys kind of land on the idea of bringing in the Ghoul, and talk to me about the thinking behind it, and the doing of it, and the actual getting of Walton Goggins himself?
Sure. So it kind of happened organically. You know, it's with the new region, we wanted to figure out what the tentpole feature of the new update would be, and something that captured the spirit of that region, and also kind of reflected a lot of, like I said, the broader strokes of player feedback came to be bounty hunting, right? And so who better to host a bounty hunting feature than Walton Goggins is the Ghoul? I mean, there's nothing better. So yeah, it's Walton Goggins, of course, being a big fan of Fallout, being a big fan of the games. This was a very easy fit to have this character be in this update, and so it was great. The getting the script written out. There were some writer on our side and a writer on the show side, and they were collaborating there and getting the script into a good place. And of course, that all comes together once Walton Goggins has that as like a starting point, and then really crafts that into his own character, which is the Ghoul.
I was kind of trying to exhaust the conversation options with him, and I did kind of get a few lines out of him about like, hey, what are you doing here? You don't sound like you're like a local to here. Was that fun to like work out how much to kind of have a story that kind of explains why he's there, or kind of just because I was like trying to get some information out of him, like, hey man,
Sure.
what are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't think we don't really explain why he's there. He's simply there being the Ghoul.
Yeah.
He's the Ghoul as we would expect. You know, he's the Ghoul doing something that the Ghoul would do with bounty hunting. And so taking it even further than that for this patch, for this update, didn't really seem wholly necessary. That's not to say that perhaps down the road we learn more, or maybe we don't. But that's kind of part of, I think, the allure. Yeah. It's the mystery of the Ghoul.
I think you said like something like that he had like followed a bounty here, and I thought that's enough information. Like, it makes sense.
Sure.
Like that's his job. Like,
Maybe he's lying.
yeah, could be. And you had the video of the great man himself in the booth there. What was it like? Yeah, were you guys there? Did you kind of get to meet him yourself and stuff?
It's amazing. It was amazing watching him record these lines. I found it just astonishing seeing how quickly he could just transform into the Ghoul, and you're not hearing Walton Goggins anymore. You're hearing the Ghoul. To me, that was just magical.
Awesome. And like on the TV show, kind of more generally, how great is it for you guys to have like a big kind of, not to say advert, but like a big public like showing off of, hey, this is Fallout, this is the thing, and not just in terms of like players coming in, but in terms of, you know, just increasing awareness of the brand and putting it back in people's minds and stuff.
Oh, always. I mean, that's just an amazing part for us. Makes us happy, and you know, and also just watching the show and enjoying it, you know, and going, wow, this is an amazing show. The writers, the attention to detail with things that actually are in the world of Fallout being replicated in the show, like the amount of detail that went into making that that ultimate experience of story and character development, and taking you through this massive just world of fun, you know, in there was great. You know, we all sat there and watched, and you know, you first thought you think sometimes like, oh man, this is gonna be good, it's gonna be good, and then you watch the trailer first 7 minutes, and you're like, okay, we're good, yeah, we're fine, yeah, this is good, we're on a good path. And so yeah, as fans of the show, I mean, I've watched the show probably 4 or 5 times just with different groups of people. And it never gets old. I love the story, love the characters. Everybody loves the Ghoul, and even Lucy and Max. Like, there's fans of Lucy and Max. So, but yeah, the Ghoul is certainly the big star that we've latched onto, and certainly makes sense for our world and our timeline and everything too. So, yeah, it's amazing it's very surreal sometimes to know that you're even developing a game that has a very hit TV show behind it. You know, that's not something that happens very often.
Yeah. I thought the approach they made with the show of like not just like picking, we're going to adapt Fallout 4 or the first Fallout game or something. They're like, we're going to just tell a new story in the world and everything else still counts. That's like nice for the developers as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, love that. Absolutely love that, because we can enjoy the games, we can enjoy the TV show, and not have to, talk too much about, oh, wait, that wasn't in 4, that wasn't in 3. It's like that's their own story, it's their own characters, their own timelines, and I think that's what's great about this whole IP and just the way they've approached the TV show.
Nice. Obviously, yeah, season 2 ends on that kind of New Vegas tease. Is New Vegas a favorite game of you guys? I know it's like quite a big fan favorite for some people. Like,
yeah. I mean, I love 3 because 3 was the first time that we actually got to experience the wasteland of Fallout in 3D. And you come out of the vault, and you're just like, oh wait, this is amazing. What am I gonna go do? And so yeah. But then also New Vegas expanding on that, and then Fallout 4 after that. They're all great games. And we've played a number of times. I've certainly played through New Vegas multiple times with different paths that I've taken. And same with 3 and same with 4. And I was even old enough to play Tactics. And so yeah. It's great to have all of those shows represented and just a great IP all around.
Nice. And now that you know how big the spike was and you've prepped for season 2, is there a part of your mind that's already starting to work on stuff for season 3, whenever that might be? Like,
I mean, we don't know. I don't know anything about what season 3 is or what if that's even a thing. But the focus right now, of course, because we still have a few months here on 64 to finish Burning Springs. That's the focus right now.
Yeah.
But we do work like many months ahead and many patches ahead. But that will certainly probably come into play in the new year. Maybe we'll see. But I want us all focused on this one right now.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was so cool because, like, when you kind of look at the last year or so, and like now knowing that kind of it's building to this, the fact that you did the playable Ghoul stuff a few months ago, and it's like, and then like he's got lines that are in the trailer that you showed of him being like, he'll talk differently if he's talking to another Ghoul, and it's like, it must be nice to be able to like dovetail things together and like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the Ghoul itself that's something we've all just wanted to do anyway, in a Fallout game, and so bringing that, to the game and just happens to line up with the favorite character within the show, is great. But that is a whole new experience. That's all I play right now is my Ghoul, and it's a lot of fun. So feral Ghoul too. So not even So running around just punching things as a Ghoul, it's fun. So.
Oh, I remember you were saying like when the Ghoul was coming in that you would have to work out like a new build to make it work with the new kind of requirements of that character. What did you kind of land on in terms of that? Yeah,
so my feral build is exactly that. It's kind of like the old bloodied build for humans, and so there's very limited. You get a 300% reduction in your ranged accuracy and stuff. So you pretty much go unarmed or you go melee at that point. But you get a huge boost to your melee damage and things. And so that's what I do is I do that. I make sure the glow is all the way up, and I am just smacking. Right now I have a Settler's Gauntlet that's got shock pads on it, and I just run around punching things, and I punch them really hard. It's so much fun. So yeah, that's how I turned into my Ghoul, or what I turned my Ghoul into. Yeah.
Since you guys put that Ghoul into the game, have you been surprised by any of like the stuff that players have been doing with it? Because it is quite a big like rebalancing of the whole thing. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the loadouts and things like that, I don't know if I was really surprised by anything different there. But what I was surprised about was how players in the world started RPing more. There's a lot of like camps that were set up that said like no ghouls allowed, and stuff like that, and then like no smooth skins, stuff like that, and players were having just a fun time hanging out in each other's camps and like role playing and taking on the identity of a particular person. We have a lot of RPers in the game anyway, but as soon as the Ghoul came out, there was a whole bunch of stuff. I even made a joke that I was gonna, start interviewing people for the Ghoulmore girls or something, and so just things like that were fun to play around with. But that was certainly the fun part of seeing.
Someone needs to like Photoshop that stat, like Ghoulmore girls. That's amazing. Or if you said it before, someone's probably already done it, right?
They probably already have. Yeah, there's somebody out there doing it. Yes.
Amazing. And talk to me a little bit more about the bounty system that you guys now have. I spent a lot of the session just now playing it. It's interesting that you've kind of got like the smaller ones, which some of which you kind of get there and it's just like a guy, and it's like, yeah, everyone's just going to shoot this guy. Or then the kind of the beefier, more premium target. How did you guys kind of land on having that kind of two sides of it? And yeah, what was the thinking behind how you did it?
Sure. So our grunt hunts are kind of formatted, I suppose, similar to our events in the game, right? They can largely be completed by one or two people. It's like you said, they're kind of a single target thing. What you get from grunt hunts is you can do them as much as you want, and they're free. You can get caps and cool items from them. The Ghoul's got a huge stack of these. He doesn't have time to do all these, so he needs you out there to help him with the grunt hunts. And sometimes when you finish a grunt hunt, you get lucky and might find a contract for a headhunt, right, which is harder. Headhunt actually, what that does is it triggers a public event. And so anybody on the server can join once they see that a headhunt has popped up. And you're going to need that help because they're hard. The targets are hard, and they're surrounded by a posse or a gang that makes them even harder. But if you're able to wipe them out and finish up the contract, you get really cool rewards, some unique rewards that you can only get through doing headhunts as well. And of course, a lot of experience and caps too. We have different gangs that you'll go up against. Some are kind of wild and crazy. Like you'll have raider gangs, you'll have bandit gangs, you'll have clowns, you'll have musicians, you'll have all kinds of variations of these gangs that you'll encounter. Grunt hunts can take place in any of the 20 custom locations that we've set up. Within Burning Springs, custom locations like Super Duper Mart. Headhunts can also take place in some of those locations too. So there's a lot of variety there in chasing after the different named targets with their gangs and the different locations and how many people come and join. And it's a lot of fun. It was to put that together. The biggest challenge, I'm kind of finally coming to your question. The biggest challenge, I suppose, was making it very accessible for players, easy to understand, not punishing, and leaving it open. So if you want to engage in this, you can. So yeah, grunt hunts are open for everybody. You can take on as many as you want. Head hunts, you can have one up on a server at a time, but anybody can join. So those will probably be going on constant repeat as well. But the way we got there was through playtesting with the team. Does this feel right? Does this feel right? Are we being too restrictive here? Are we giving away too much here? Should we try to balance this? And so it was a lot of back and forth between the developers working on this feature to get it to the great place it is now. I think players are just going to love it once Burning Springs comes out.
Yeah. I was playing in a group with one other guy, and we just got so like every time it popped up, like, oh, there's another headhunt starting, we would kind of drop everything and just go do it because they were super fun. And we did not get very far in the main new quest that you guys have got in there because we just kept getting distracted and going off and doing
For sure. Yep. That's the beauty of Fallout.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love how random they can be as well. At one point we were like fighting old ladies.
Yeah, exactly. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It keeps it fun.
Yeah. It was like, we thought it was just one old lady, but then we killed her and then like more kept springing up.
Yeah.
One after the other.
That's what they do. You gotta watch out.
That is what they do in real life as well.
Yeah.
I was wondering, with season 2, obviously a lot of people will be coming back to the game or maybe coming to the game first time. Would you have any advice for people kind of who are jumping in, who maybe they've not played it in a while or maybe they've never played it before, like how to jump in this time?
Bill's got a pretty good perspective on that.
Yeah, I do realize that John, says, we don't like to tell players how to play the game, and I totally agree with that. Sometimes I'm like, but listen to our advice, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of telling you how to play the game. But no, seriously, when you come into the game for the first time, especially if you're a brand new player, even a returning player, I tell people to immediately join a public team. Like get on a casual team, take advantage of the int boost that's going to give you a boost in experience there, and just follow people around. Like explore on your own. Like go to the places you want to go to. Follow some of the mainline story, and you're going to get some guidance from the Ghoul to go and do things over there. But I would say if you're a brand new player, for me, I would say don't immediately see a headhunt on the map and immediately join it and go into it and do it. I would say go to Point Pleasant. Walk across the bridge, enjoy the experience of going up towards the compound, and just understanding like the story that has been created and set up for it. And then, once you get past there, you'll be presented with a really cool vista moment, and that's how we've always come to play a lot of BGS games. There's always that vista moment coming out of a dungeon, coming out of the vault, and it's a really good place to be able to do that and see the open environment. Even Skyline Valley had that. If you followed the path and you come over the hill and down, and all of a sudden you see Skyline Valley, it's a really nice reveal. But join up with friends, play with friends, and just kind of take the path that you want to take. There's tons. There's 7 years of content. Just enjoy it. Don't rush. Yeah.
It's cool that you have the option as well to jump in at level 20 or level 50, and the level 20 one's totally free as well, which is
so you can join, or you can actually start at level 2 if you want. But we give you a set of loadouts now. If you come out of the vault brand new, start at level 2, start at level 20, pick one of the loadouts that you think fits you well. You get gear that goes along with it. You also get perks, kind of a loadout that already goes along with it with your perks. And you also have the option to start at level 50 if you just kind of want to jump directly into doing some of the Ghoul stuff. You can kind of do that. And that comes with its own set of gear and weapons and things like that too. So we give you a couple of different jumping off points, especially if you have friends who are maybe higher level. You can jump in at 50 and come in and play. But yeah.
Awesome. And you mentioned other BGS games there. When you kind of listen to a podcast or something about Fallout at the moment, I've had various different people say things like, "Oh, it's a shame there's no new Fallout game coming for season 2," and it's like, yeah, but there's stuff going on. There's stuff to get. Does it kind of frustrate you when you hear stuff like that? 'Cause it's like you're here toiling away on a Fallout season 2 theme.
I get it. I mean, we're fans of Fallout. We love our Fallout games, and I'm sure in the future we'd love to see another Fallout. So, but for now, we're focused on 76, and we got Burning Springs coming out, and so jump in because also. Again, every 13 weeks, we are dropping new content for this game. So enjoy it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to playing more of it. And thank you guys so much for taking the time. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Brilliant times does gaming.